So a lot of people who watch my videos are in different stages of their beat making journey. You know, some of y'all have been making beats for a minute, while others may be just starting their journey and just getting into producing, you know. So this video is for you beginners who are kind of just getting into producing and need a little bit of guidance on how to progress forward, okay? So in this video, we're gonna be talking about the 5 things that you really need to get into producing. Okay, so this is gonna be in no particular order, but the number 1 thing that I believe that you truly need to become a producer and to start producing is a solid pair of headphones, okay? Now let me tell you why. There's gonna be a lot of situations where you're gonna really appreciate having a good pair of headphones. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you one of the things I don't think you need is a set of studio monitors. And you know why? There's a lot of situations where you can't use studio monitors. You might live in an apartment complex where you have neighbors on one side, the other side, down and below, or up and below. Where if you're playing it too loud, you might get noise complaints, whatever. And also you might just be on the go. You might be making beats like say like out and about, maybe at Starbucks or on the train or somewhere where you obviously cannot bring your monitors. And that's where these are gonna come in handy, right? And I'm not saying also go buy a $10 pair of headphones. These are the Audio-Technica ATH M50Xs. And when I say that this is my second pair, my original pair, I believe I got in probably like 2012 or 2011, and they lasted me about 10 years. These are a Bluetooth version, but I hardly ever use the Bluetooth version. I'm usually always linked up with the cord. But you're gonna wanna get you a good pair of headphones because the thing about these, what I love about these Audio-Technicas is they have great bass response, they sound great, the spacing sounds really good, they're comfortable, and also they are, I believe these are closed back headphones. Okay, yes, so these are closed back headphones. And basically what that means is when you're listening to them, when you have them on your head, you're not getting a lot of leaking from the headphones out. So say you're you're recording something, the mic won't pick it up as often if you're using like some open back headphones, which lets out a lot more noise. But also it's really good. They have a good flat response. There's nothing super dramatic. It's like you're wearing like Beats headphones, which the bass is like exaggerated so crazy. So when you're mixing on some Beats headphones and you bring it out, try to do like a carb test or like a speaker test, and you're wondering, oh my gosh, the bass sounds crazy. It's way off in this, like, you know what I mean? Either probably sounds pretty dull because you're like, oh man, the Beats headphones are really boosting that bass like crazy. These have a great flat response, they sound great, and they're comfortable. And they come in a bunch of different colors so you can kind of be personable with your own personality, you know. But that's why I'm gonna say that this is one of the most necessary items that you need to start producing, okay? All right. Okay, so the number 2 thing that I would say that is super necessary for you to start producing is a good computer. And let me tell you why. Now listen, I'm not saying to go out and buy like a $3,000 MacBook Pro or anything like that. That's not what I'm saying. But you're gonna wanna get a computer that is okay with running a few different programs at once. So when you're making beats, it can be very RAM intensive. So basically, when you got all these plugins, you have all these sounds and all these just different things coming in, it can take up a lot of processing power on your computer. And if your computer's not powerful enough, it can lead to crashes, it can lead to RAM override, it can just lead to like a lot of crackling, a lot of weird sounds, and just a lot of dissonance, right? And so with having a good computer, you want to make sure that you have a computer that has a good amount of RAM. I'm gonna go ahead and say like 8 gigabytes is a little old. I would say 16 is a good starting point if you can afford it. 16 gigs of RAM is a great start. As far as like storage, you're gonna want to at least have a terabyte. Like I don't know how you're getting away without having a terabyte in this day and age. But yeah, that can be a MacBook Pro. It could be, there's some good HPs out here now. That could be a lot of different computers, but you just want to make sure you check your specs, get something that, also don't get something super, super bulky, I'm gonna say, unless you're planning to sit down, you know, and at that point you could also get a desktop. It doesn't have to be a laptop. It could be a desktop, it could be a laptop. But you want to get something, like I enjoy having a laptop, that way I can be portable with it and I can kind of take it as I go, you know, as I please. You know what I mean? It just works a lot better, you know. So that's number 2. Number 3 necessary piece that you need to start producing, I say, is a DAW of choice. Okay, so there are many DAWs. A DAW is a digital audio workstation. So this could be what I use, FL Studio, or it could be Ableton. It could be Logic, it could be GarageBand, Reason, Reaper. There's literally so many. Hell, it could even be like Audacity, Cubase. Probably not Audacity though. There's better free options than Audacity, I promise. There's Luna, that I'm sure all three Luna users are overjoyed that I just mentioned that. But you're gonna want to have a good DAW, right? And honestly, there's really no such thing as a good DAW. There's the best, FL Studio, but no, you're gonna want to have a DAW. Pick a DAW and learn it and stick with it, though. You know, and it's okay to experiment, find the one that you really enjoy, but once you do, learn it and stick with it. It's gonna take a while for you to get used to it, but you wanna get to the point where you know it like the back of your hand, you know what I mean? And it truly does become your tool. It truly becomes your instrument, because it's gonna be literally your central hub for everything. It's gonna be where you make your beats. It's gonna be where you might get files sent, like collab. You know, you'll put your stems in there. It's literally gonna be your tool, your weapon of choice. So the DAW is very important. Okay. Now, number 4 important thing that you need to start producing is an audio interface, and let me explain why. So an audio interface is basically, it's this little box that you plug into your computer where you can basically then insert like a mic, you insert instruments, so like a guitar, a bass, like a synthesizer, and it's kind of like a little hub where you can also control the volume. Some interfaces have more than others, you know. So I have an Apollo Twin, and that comes with a bunch of different plugins, and it's really cool. It's a little more on the expensive side. You can definitely find some cheaper ones online. However, you don't have to go out and buy the most expensive audio interface. I'll be honest, Scarlett is very good. Native Instruments makes a very good one. I think it's the Complete Control. I used to have, what is it? It's not Complete Control, it's the Complete Audio. Anyway, they make a good one. Universal Audio makes a cheaper one called Volt if you don't want to get the classic Apollo. The Volt one is a cheaper one, and it's still good. But basically, again, you'll be able to insert your headphones directly into it. You'll be able to insert like a mic, instruments. The thing is with your computer, most computers they're changing, you know, so they're taking away a lot of the USB ports, a lot of the audio jacks, and so you're not able to plug as many things straight into your computer, and that's where an interface comes in. You plug the interface into your computer, and so you can then add more things into your computer, you know. But like I said, there's a bunch of different, literally just look up, I'm sure you can look up videos of good, cheap interfaces. There's so many that you can literally choose from, but that is very necessary. Now, lastly, the number 5 thing that you need to get producing is a MIDI controller, okay? You ain't gotta get this one. This one is a personal one, okay? And not to say you need it 100%, however, I think it's very necessary, and let me explain why. When you're making beats, you usually do it on a computer, and you can honestly for sure just use this. You can use your keyboard, right? However, the thing about using a keyboard when you're making beats, there's no velocity. There's no settings for velocity. So when you're like playing, like say you try to play keys on the keyboard, it doesn't record your velocity. Everything is at a fixed volume, right? And so you can't get the different intricacies of playing keys, right? And it's a lot less tactile. When you have a keyboard or even like a drum pad, I just feel like first of all, it's just a lot more fun, right? And also you feel a little more involved, and you feel a little more connected to what you're doing, and it feels a little more musical rather than just like ones and zeros and bleeps and bloops, you know what I'm saying? It makes me personally feel a lot connected. And also the cool thing about my MIDI keyboard, and I've had a lot in the past, I've had a Machine Micro, I've had an MPK, I've had a M Audio keyboard, I've had a few, but this has been my favorite so far. And really it's also my favorite because it's native to FL Studio. So it's made who makes it? I forget. No, I think Novation makes it, but it's the FL Key 37. They have a smaller version of it, but I just love literally all the different settings and how it's literally linked up perfectly for FL Studio. But I just love that I can go in here and I can use the keyboard and play it like keys, you know what I mean? And it feels right, you know what I mean? It feels like I'm actually playing keys, you know, because I am. Versus like actually like kind of like playing the key, like using this, you know what I mean? Or using your laptop or your keyboard on your laptop, you know what I mean? Also, it allows you to step away from your laptop a little bit, you know what I mean? You don't have to be huddled like right on it trying to play, you know? But also you can do like cool like automation kind of stuff, you know what I mean? And yeah, that's what I think. Okay, so that's the video, homie. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got some good stuff out of it. But yeah, those are my 5 things that I feel like you need to start producing. Don't get caught up in all the extra fluff. Let's just make some good vibes and we'll figure it out. You got it, homie. Hope to see you in the next video. I love you very much. Peace.